Well, former President Trump's quest for outside supervision or a special master to review the DOJ's investigation into sensitive White House records seized at his Mar-a-Lago home is officially over. So what does all of this mean for Donald Trump? Joining us now to discuss is Distinguished University Professor at Touro University, Thane Rosenbaum. Also joining us is trial and criminal attorney at Mills & Edwards, LLP, Dante Mills. Great to have you both with us this Saturday afternoon. Thane, I'm going to start with you. What does this mean for President Trump? Is it dangerous? Is it a wash? Does it not matter at all? What happens next?
Well, Katrina, this is a litigious former president. Even before he was president, he didn't back away from legal fights. So you could say, well, the fact that he's giving up, he won't even appeal to the Supreme Court. Perhaps he's raising the white flag, right? He's not had much success lately with the Supreme Court in trying to shield his tax records from the House Ways and Means Committee, or shielding the White House documents that he saw as classified under executive privilege. In both instances, the Supreme Court declined to intervene. But you know what? He might be saying something else, Katrina. He may be saying, you know what? I don't want this hanging over my head, letting you investigate me for the next 2 years and not charging me and making it seem as if I committed a crime. Show your cards. Do you have anything? Finally, bring the charges that you have. I didn't steal a Rolex in someone's drawer or take a purse out of the White House of a secretary. I took presidential documents created during my presidency, and I did not sell them to another country. I did not destroy them. The Presidential Records Act contemplates that I would take some documents with me for keepsakes. And frankly, a jury is not going to convict a former president of merely removing and retaining presidential records, keeping it in his house. He could just be challenging them. If you've got something, watch me. This will blow up in your face. This will look like the Mueller report.
Dante, your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is about illegal retention of classified documents. And if we go back into the details of how this began, we all remember that early morning when fellow investigators went into Mar-a-Lago and they seized over 3,000 documents. So the investigators then did not have access because Trump's attorneys came in and said, we need outside supervision for you to review these documents so we can make sure you're doing so illegally. And a judge agreed with that. So they halted the investigators and prosecutors' access to these documents. So we remember when the documents were seized, but then it kind of went quiet. And I know a lot of us were thinking, well, whatever happened with that? Well, the prosecutors did not have access to those documents because Trump's attorney said we need a special master to control that. Well, the Court of Appeals in Atlanta 11th Circuit just said you don't. So now something is going to come to its head because now the prosecutors have access to those documents. Many were marked classified, but Trump's team is saying they were declassified documents or executive privilege, so he didn't do anything wrong. But now that they have access to those documents to go in and see exactly what was included in that 3,000 document seizure, what should not have been taken from the White House, and what could have been, they're now going to determine whether or not something illegal happened. And I think Trump will, in fact, have his day in court.
What do you think he'll be charged with specifically?
Well, it depends what's in those documents. We're really going to have to see, now that we know, was there really some kind of secret documents that risk national security? Was there something that could lead to potential threats against the United States? Or were these just letters that were generated by Trump himself that really does not have an effect? I think the contents of those documents really will rule the day. And now they have access to see what the contents are.
Yeah, Thane, what do you think that the president is going to have to do moving forward now that there's no nothing to impede moving forward with a potential prosecution?
I think he should sit tight. He should keep quiet and wait to be charged. Again, this puts the pressure on the government, right? Before, there's been no criminal charges. The issue with the special master, Katrina, was a civil case brought by Donald Trump to protect his documents from investigation because he said that they were privileged. But at this point now, we're finally getting to see the government to actually look at the documents and see. And again, these charges, from what we're told, Katrina, are all under the Espionage Act. So let's remember what that's usually used for. That's used for enemies of the state who have possession of documents that had no right to have in their possession at all. No right, unlike a president of the United States who created the documents, and that these people either destroyed documents or tried to sell them or did sell them to a foreign entity. That's not what happened here. So again, whenever you hear the words Espionage Act, if it applies to this case, even if some of those documents are marked classified or top secret, and they technically might violate the Espionage Act, it's never been applied in this way before with a person that merely held on to them in his storage closet or even in his sock drawer. It would be interesting to see how the Espionage Act would be applied under these facts.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Dante Mills, Thane Rosenbaum, thanks to both of you for your insights. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you.